Yes, I am John. Did you have I'm good to go.
3 hours later, I'm in the middle of that, like on the couch.
Oh, is this your first time here?
Very good. Good morning, and thank you all for being here. My name is Zach Worsham. I'm the Vice President of Winterwood Incorporated. We're so thrilled to welcome you all to the Stonewall Terrace ribbon cutting. It's been a long time coming. And we're also proud of what we've accomplished here. We're proud of the community that's being built, and we just want to pay some homage to that today. So I'm going to get right into it. Our first guest speaker today is representing Governor Andy Beshear. Please welcome Secretary Jim Gray.
Hey Zach, thank you so much. And it is great to be with everyone here this morning and crowding the winner circles. Everybody give each other a big hand of applause. Thank you all. You know, first things first, I want to acknowledge the mayor, the vice mayor, is Senator Reggie Thomas here? Yet, he's on his way. He's on his way, Shirley. Right, okay. Representative Shirley Stevenson, Councilmember Jennifer Reynolds, and of course other distinguished guests. I just saw Charlie Rancher. Where'd Charlie go? I'm going to give him a distinguished guest for sure. It is my honor to bring greetings from Governor Andy Beshear, and to say in the governor's own words, we are all Team Kentucky today. Of course, we can all appreciate the good, the stable, and affordable housing that is being provided today. You know, John Parker was just telling me a minute ago that this was just a figment of his imagination. How much? 8 years ago, John, probably? And then 4 years ago, where's Carol? Carol, he said that you came to him and you all talked about doing a project like this. And you know, it was Victor Hugo that said there's nothing more powerful than an idea whose time has come. And that's exactly what we are seeing today. You know, many of us have been longtime supporters of AVOL and the great work of the organization. Today I join with Governor Beshear in congratulating Executive Director John Parker, Board President Roy Harrison, and all the cast, all the rest of you who had a hand in turning a vision and a plan into a bricks and mortar reality. Stonewall Terrace is going to be a lot more than just a roof over someone's head. Its great value to the community lies in the support it offers in terms of health education, life skills programming, and social opportunities. Now let me close by acknowledging members of the team whose work brings us here today. As you will see, it was a lot of people working together. The AVOL Board of Directors, Winterwood, who will provide property management, the Kentucky Housing Corporation, the Urban County Government, the Trust for Affordable Housing, PNC Bank, Traditional Bank, Hills Group, Hope of the Midwest, Nectar Architecture, Dinsmore & Scholl, Continuum of Care, Earth Cycle Design, and residents of the 11th District, and many more. Thank you all. It's great to be with you this morning.
Thank you, Secretary Gray. It's my honor to introduce our next guest, because with her leadership, projects like this are happening all over Fayette County. The city's commitment to affordable housing is inspiring and it's necessary. And we thank you, Mayor Gorton, for your continued leadership in this space. Ladies and gentlemen, Mayor Linda Gorton.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. I am really ecstatic to be here this morning, and I had asked somebody, how long ago did we break ground? It seemed like ages ago. And then I couldn't remember, is it pre-pandemic or post-pandemic? But it's wonderful to be here. I want to again recognize our council members. Vice Mayor Wu is with us, Councilmember Jennifer Reynolds, Councilmember Liz Sheehan, stalwart supporters of these kinds of efforts. And Commissioner Charlie Lanter, our Commissioner of Housing and Community Development, a new department that we formed because we knew we needed a bigger presence with housing issues, and it's always wonderful to see Secretary Gray. Thank you. Of course, you're in your hometown here, right? Well, not exactly your hometown, but your adopted hometown. And Representative Stevenson, so good to see you. And I know Senator Thomas is on his way. So it's always wonderful to see our partners at the state level. None of us can do any of this by ourselves, right? So this project not only increases our city's housing inventory, it also provides support to low-income, medically vulnerable residents. It's very special in that regard. I want to thank Zach, Winterwood, John, the entire AVOL staff and board for the hard work it took to make this project a reality. As we have found over the past years, and I learned it big time during the pandemic, these kinds of partnerships are what help us make things happen, because none of us do it by ourselves. You just look at everything going on in the world, really, that's good. It takes partners, and that's what this represents. This project, Secretary Gray, I almost called you Mayor Gray. Secretary Gray mentioned a lot of the partners, and there's so many. And that is a beautiful thing in this day and age. So let me talk a second about AVOL. AVOL has been critically important here in Lexington for more than 30 years. 30 years, think about that. Leading the way to provide support to our LGBTQ community and those living with HIV/AIDS. And I am always proud of the city's ongoing relationship with AVOL. And Stonewall Terrace is just one more way we're working together. Safe, affordable housing is a basic need for everyone, and Stonewall Terrace will help keep its residents safe and happy. This LGBTQ inclusive housing is one of the first of its kind in Kentucky, serving our LGBTQ seniors, and you should all be very proud of that. We like to lead the way in Kentucky. So Lexington frequently, I think, has led the way supporting our LGBTQ community, thanks in large part to AVOL and our partners. And it makes me go back to 1999, when we had the first inclusive fairness ordinance in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. And for me personally, a lot of it started right there. And so I want to thank all of you, congratulate everyone here who had a hand in this wonderful partnership. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Gordon. As we continue our program, I believe we have a special treat that will be a wonderful addition to this day. One of our distinguished residents, James Scott. Is James here? Everybody welcome James Scott.
Hello. Good morning, Mayor. My name is James Scott, and really don't know what I'm supposed to say, but other than I was one of the first tenants to move in. Went through the process with Miss Veronica. I've seen these apartments being built when I was just riding down Versailles Road, going to Kroger's, and I was like, what they building over there? So as time went on, I kept going to work and seeing the development, and as they got the foundations up, I was like, I need to find out who is in charge of these apartments. And one of my workers, I'm a veteran, and also worked at the VA hospital, and was given the information to go see Miss Veronica Bennett. I went to see we called and made an appointment to see Miss Veronica. I had canceled the appointment because of my job. That was the whole thing with finding housing and everything. It's like, do I work? Do I take the time off to go find a job and stuff like that? You know, to stay employed. That was one of the things I said. As long as I got a job, I got a chance. Went to actually got to talk to Miss Veronica, went in, and as soon as I walked through the door, she had this smile on her face and she says, I've been waiting on you. And so we went through the process, and I was like, Miss Veronica, I was like, I'm gonna tell you now. I said I have some things on my credit report. She says, I haven't asked you about anything on your credit report. She says, fill out this application. She says, we got you. I filled it out on a Thursday morning at 7 o'clock in the morning. Miss Veronica said, Mr. Scott, she says, I have your keys. You can sign your lease. I think I was here before she even said lease. And I mean, it was, when I came and we stood outside and she was talking to some people, it was a whole bunch of people just like this. And we were just walking around apartments, and she walked up to me, she says, Mr. Scott, she said, I am so sorry. She says, we're going to have to wait. She says, Mr. Scott, she said, there's your apartment. And I'm a big crybaby because the emotions, it's the emotions, and they're happy emotions, because I've gone through some things. You know, being a cancer survivor and just things, period. Just trying to make it, do the next right thing, and not get off the path and do some crazy stuff just to be able to make money, to stay in an apartment and stuff. And I'm a firm believer in God, and I'm sorry, that's my story, and He's in it. And you know, I just stood fast and just listened to the little voice in my head. Keep pushing, because at the end, there is a reward. That Thursday, she gave me these keys. I walked in that apartment, and you would have thought I was on Extreme Makeover. And you know, it wasn't a bust appeal, and I walked around and stuff like that. And I was very full of emotion, because I was like, hey, as long as you listen and do the next right thing, there are people out there that will help us. And I just want to be an inspiration to anybody that's out in the community that's facing anything. If you just believe and just keep it moving and do the next right things, good things happen. And I am so proud to be a tenant here. It's been a struggle, but I'm a tenant here, and I love it. I love the staff. And Ms. Veronica, she says, okay, she said, I got to hear something other than great. I'm sorry, Ms. Veronica, I am so grateful. I am grateful to whomever came up with this idea to make this a reality. It's been a game changer. It's been a game changer for me. Not only that day that I get a new apartment, I got a new position at the Marriott Downtown City Center as a chef. I was just like, a home cook. And I don't know how, but the thing about it is with me, and these apartments being a game changer, when I say it's a game changer, it changed my attitude. I was, that Thursday when I moved in with my bag, and that's it. I didn't care about furniture. I just stretched out. I was like, hey. And this door that when you're in the living room, I was like, okay, that's the bathroom. She said, Mr. Scott, she said, you're going to need to save some money so you can get your washer and dryer. I said, wash and dryer, that'll come. I walked in, I said, well, what is this door? I opened the door. There was a washer and dryer. I said, Miss Veronica. A washer and dryer was more important than a couch, a chair, and anything, and or, you know, to just have clean clothes if you had to go to interviews and stuff like that. that's something in your psyche to just like, hey, I got clean clothes. At least I got clean clothes. I can go interview and knock the socks off. I know I can knock the socks off. I got the gift of gab. And I did. That next morning when I woke up, I had the interview at the Marriott, and I just applied for a simple job. And on my application, the food and beverage manager, Damon, he was like, Mr. Scott, he said, I understand that you was the cook at the VA hospital. And somebody says, you did all of that by yourself. You fried chicken every day. And I did. He was like, I don't want you as a dishwasher. I want you as my chef. Next to me and next to our executive chef. And I've been in these apartments for 9 months, and I've been at that job for 9 months. Just got a promotion at that job. We just opened a new restaurant, a great room. It is back open. I am the performance cook in that restaurant. And I owe it to just having a simple apartment, being able to come home and be comfortable in that apartment, and so I can just relax and not worry about anything. I still worry, but I also still pray. And I pray that you all build more on that side so you can change lives of other people. Give them a chance, and even those of us that have chronic illnesses, having a clinic that's going to be here where you just walk down the street if anything is wrong. Miss Tammy, I love Miss Tammy, I love her staff. When they see me coming, I said, here comes trouble. She says, but guess what, it's good trouble. And I love it, I love these apartments, and I love each and every person that had the idea to build these. Because like I said, it was a game changer for me. And I'm pretty sure it would be a game changer for a whole lot of other people. And it is what it is. And like I said, I love my apartment. And I've been, like I said, 9 months. It took 6 months to put furniture in it. And the only reason why I took that long to put furniture in it, because I have this little thing. I've been writing essays and stuff like that, and I compiled them ever since I was 9 years old. And hopefully next month or within a month it will be published, and it's called Masterpiece. Because as a child I was like, you know, everything was a gift because it wasn't. My apartment is named Masterpiece, and the only reason why it's called Masterpiece is because the master, and I'm his piece, and that apartment is my masterpiece. Thank you.
Thank you so much, James.
You're welcome.
Appreciate those kind words. I will say, if you haven't met Miss Veronica, she's standing right back here, and she's a pillar of this community, and you should take a moment to say hello to her before we end it. Has Senator Thomas arrived? I don't think so yet, so we'll save some time for him when he does. Our next guest, Representative Cheryl Lynn Stevenson.
Thank you all so much. And really, who wants to follow that? Right? Dang it, Reggie, like really, we could just go home, because that right there is what this is all about, and it was just wonderful. It's so heartwarming, and I thank all of you so much for giving me a chance to be part of today. This is truly a special moment for our community, and I'm really proud to be here. On behalf of the Kentucky House of Representatives, I want to extend my gratitude to AVOL, to Winterwood Incorporated, the Kentucky Affordable Housing Coalition, our local, state, and federal government leaders, dedicated advocates, anyone else who has helped to turn the goal of affordable housing into a bricks and mortar reality. What we are celebrating is far more than the sum of its parts. We can't, of course, put a price on what it costs to build these homes, but to those living here, as you just heard, their value is priceless. These homes are providing the safety, comfort, independence, and sense of place that we all deserve. It means so much that Stonewall Terrace is giving priority to those with low incomes, have HIV, or are otherwise medically vulnerable. There has always been a need for affordable housing, but it has taken on renewed importance in this era of high rent and high mortgage payments. In communities like ours, families are finding it tougher to live close to where they work and where their kids go to school. In more rural areas, like my native Eastern Kentucky, affordable housing is scarce because of terrain, lack of jobs with a living wage, and often very, very high utility costs. The historic flooding there last summer and the late 2021 tornadoes in Western Kentucky have made affordable housing even more critical in affected communities. That's why the General Assembly recently voted to dedicate $10 million apiece to those hard-hit regions so that more affordable housing projects can be built, and much more money we know is needed, but hopefully that's a really good start. And with that in mind, I also want to mention a bill filed by fellow Representative Lamine Swan. His House Bill 437 would have given more legal protection to such sources of income as Section 8 and child support. It is difficult enough for many to find a place to call home. They shouldn't also have to deal with discrimination tied to sources of income, and the same holds true in regard to whom they love, how they look, or to whom they pray. My hope is that Stonewall Terrace becomes a beacon for other communities so that they too can find ways to help more people who want nothing more than a place that they can affordably call home. I want to end my remarks today by referencing the words of former President Jimmy Carter, who has made affordable housing a major part of his post-presidential life. He said, "Whatever I have to try and make a difference." And Stonewall Terrace truly personifies those words. And for those who made it possible, I want to once again thank you. Your work has made a difference and will continue to.
Thomas.
Sure, first of all, I appreciate those fine remarks. You only seek this position for one reason, and for one reason only. And that is to make a better world doing that. I just stopped by here today because everyone, no matter what their bank account says, no matter the color of their skin, no matter who they love, no matter what language they speak, is entitled to dignity and freedom and the right to have the best life possible for them. That's what AVOL is doing today. By providing this housing opportunity for all. They're giving everyone the hope and the opportunity to have a better life. I'm just proud to be here today. I called Jennifer this morning to tell her that I was going to come by here, but I appreciate your work here, Jennifer, in making Lexington just a little better place to live today than it was yesterday. And Mary, you know that I'm one of your biggest advocates, and I appreciate what you do for our city. Lexington is our home. It's the people's home. So let's honor and celebrate what AVOL does today. Let's all of us commit ourselves to have everyone have a better life tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. And up next, Lexington's Vice Mayor, Dan Luke.
Thank you, Zach. I'm very honored to be out here with some of my favorite people in Lexington, some of the kindest, most generous, most creative, and most badass people in Lexington. Because it takes that kind of energy to make something like this happen. I've been a big fan of AVOL for years. I've known John and Anthony for a while now. They've been on the forefront of this fight for the most marginalized and the most vulnerable communities that we have. They put their money where their mouth is. They've never backed down from a really tough fight, and they've just been here for us. And I'm so proud to be standing in front of this, like a real concrete reality of all this work that they've done. We in city government, we talk a lot about the idea of wraparound services, and sometimes, you know, we can't quite figure out what that is. And this is like a perfect example of wraparound services because we have housing, we have healthcare, we have advocacy, we have a place where people can really feel comfortable and be themselves. And I think it's so important. We also talk a lot about partnerships, and this is a perfect example of public, private, and civic partnerships all coming together to make something like this happen. So I can definitely speak on behalf of the rest of the City Council in expressing our support for AVOL in general and for this project in particular. And we honestly, in our work, are inspired by what you all do here at AVOL. I personally, in my office, will be supporting some of the future capital projects to make this an even better facility, and I'm very happy to do that. So kudos to John and Roy, wherever you are. There you are. Right next to me. And everybody else here who has made this project possible. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Our next guest has been a true supporter of this project for many years. We are so proud to have worked hand in hand with her on the design of this place and on the ongoing operations of it. She's a supporter of affordable housing, she's a supporter of AVOL, and she's a great advocate for our district, Councilwoman Jennifer Reynolds.
Thank you so much. Well, good morning. Once again, it's great to see so many familiar faces here supporting this new development. Currently, we are standing next to the Versailles Road corridor in the 11th District, one of the main roads in and out of Lexington and to and from the airport and downtown. Now, Versailles Road is located in the middle of the district, a district that has some of the most diverse demographics in Lexington, including a large international community. The area has welcomed many nonprofits and social moms to those in recovery. Their vision is larger than themselves, and they truly have a desire to reach all medically vulnerable people in Lexington and connect with them with vital services like the housing here, and to let these people know that they are not alone. So I want to congratulate the entire staff and the board and welcome all of you to this special part of town. We are so glad you call the 11th District home. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Reynolds. If you've seen the impact that's happening today, you should know that the impact like this is happening all across the Commonwealth through the investment of the Kentucky Housing Corporation. They're our great partner, and this project would certainly have never happened without them. So with that, I'd like to welcome Kentucky Housing Corporation Deputy Executive Director, Sam Thorner. On behalf of the Kentucky Housing Corporation board and the staff, I'm really pleased to join you this morning. This facility is going to serve our most vulnerable neighbors. We are really proud to be part of the team of people to help make this happen. Kentucky Housing Corporation is the state housing finance agency, and we believe that safe, affordable housing is a critical foundation for success. And for over 50 years, we've been investing in quality housing solutions throughout the Commonwealth. We operate a number of programs that are focused toward that goal, including the low-income housing tax credit. The tax credit is a critical tool in the creation and preservation of affordable housing, and this project is an excellent example of what can be accomplished through this program. This was funded in part through our innovation pool, which are funds that we set aside to reward projects that identify a unique community need and address it with a collaborative, holistic project. This year alone, we funded 13 projects with more than $12.5 million in housing credits that will help finance the creation of more than 700 units across the Commonwealth. And for this project, we were pleased to contribute $470,000 in tax credits, which created over $4 million in equity, as well as $300,000 from the Affordable Housing Trust Fund. We know that none of this would have been possible without the incredible partners to help make this happen. So thank you so much to Winterwood, AVOL Kentucky, the City of Lexington, PNC Bank, Hope the Midwest, and everyone who was involved in making this project a reality. Finally, and most importantly, I would like to say congratulations to the new residences of Stonewall Terrace. You are the reason why we do this work and why we're here today celebrating. As a Lexington resident, I am proud to have you as neighbors, and I'm proud to have this project in my backyard. Thank you so much. Well, our next guest has been a believer in this project since its inception, and without his support and the support of the City of Lexington, we've said it before, but I'll say again, this project never would have come to fruition. So please welcome Commissioner Charlie Lanton.
We've been doing this a lot lately, and Mayor, Council, I hope you're ready to do this a lot more. We have over 800 units of affordable housing under construction across the city with our affordable housing fund, and we've built or rehabbed, preserved over 3,000 units of affordable housing since its inception in 2014. And we're really deeply committed to affordable housing in the city. We put over $13 million of the total American Rescue Plan funds into our affordable housing fund, over $4 million of general fund dollars last year, and the mayor's proposed another $2 million in her budget for this coming year. So we're making things happen with affordable housing in Lexington, and we've got more to do. This project is particularly special to me. I thought it was a couple years ago, but John reminded me earlier it was probably more like 4. COVID was our timeline off. John comes into my office, asks to meet with me, and he says, "I got this crazy idea." And I'm pretty sure he said, "I want you to talk me out of it." And if you know our history, it's not the first time John's come to me with a crazy idea. He also Russell School. Right? But a lot of people don't know this. John gave me my first job in this business 20 years ago, and we've been working together on this kind of stuff ever since. What makes this project unique this is not just affordable housing. This is not just permanent housing, but it's permanent supportive housing. This is targeted towards our most vulnerable folks, people who need the additional services, and it's something that is very difficult to do in our business. And the fact that AVOL has pulled this off and is able to serve these folks is especially impressive, and it makes this an especially important project. I was struck by something that James said when he was speaking, just when he came here and the staff said, "Don't worry about this, we got you." I think that's what we're saying to all the people in Lexington who need access to affordable housing, is we got you. We'll make this happen. So thank you.
Thank you, Charlie. Well, I have to pay respect to the Board of Directors for AVOL Kentucky. Their trust and their commitment to this project has been unwavering since the start. We're so appreciative of them. If there are any board members here, would you please raise your hand? Give them a round of applause. And here to represent the AVOL Kentucky Incorporated Board, Roy Harrison.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. Good morning. I have the distinct pleasure of wrapping up today's program with you all. I'm Roy Harrison. I volunteered with AVOL since 2009. Then, AVOL had a tiny office rented off of North Limestone with a small crew, punched above their weight to improve public health in Lexington. Now look at us. Today, AVOL Kentucky opened Stonewall Terrace, and I get to represent the Board of Directors to express our gratitude for everyone here that organized with us to build this facility and the programs it houses. I'm happy to say that the scrappy ethos that defined AVOL Kentucky in 2009 continues strong here today. Through determined organizing, AVOL Kentucky and the queer Lexington community have demonstrated an ability to get things done despite all the odds. People here today and those who have left us founded what became AVOL Kentucky 35 years ago, in the midst of the early AIDS epidemic. We dealt with stably indifferent at best to our struggle. Our early leaders organized without stigma. We incorporated established prevention and education programs and shifted the community conversation around HIV and AIDS from one steeped in fear to one guided by science, public health, and above all, compassion. Today we organize around the same goal of ending stigma from stymieing public health conversations. And Stonewall Terrace represents the tremendous expansion of our allied partners leaning into this vision. Partners like Winterwood Development, of course, the Kentucky Housing Corporation, Lexington, Fayette, Urban County Government, PNC, Fez Group, Necto Architecture, Copeland and Invest, Traditional Bank, Continuum of Care, Dinsmore and Scholl, Recycle Design. We relied on the expertise of these partners. Key to organizing successfully is finding those partners whose strengths are not your own and bringing them into the mission. Your teams embrace our mission to end stigma, and today's accomplishment is very much your accomplishment. You tapped into the spirit of AVOL Kentucky's founders, and today's achievements forever link you to our cause. You've changed lives, and you've changed the future. Lexington is and will be a better place because of this team, and on behalf of the AVOL Kentucky Board of Directors, past and present, thank you.
Well, we have one more speaker. I just want to say a few words before we start to wrap this thing up and cut our ribbon. Winterwood is, again, so proud to be a part of this project. And we're proud of this for so many reasons, but chiefly among those is our shared vision with AVOL, that housing should be safe, decent, affordable, and inclusive. And that's the kind of community that I think we've built here today. I want to thank a few other folks who are here that were partners in this project that, again, without them, this could not have happened. We have Billy Wade and his team with Hope of the Midwest, Jay and Mike from Necto Architecture, Scott Southall from Recycle Design, and there are many, many others. And we're so grateful that folks joined hands and went on this journey with us. I would ask real quickly that any member of the AVOL or Winterwood teams raise their hand. All of the people you see here have worked so tirelessly to see this project come to fruition, and without them, this dream would not be a reality. So we thank them. And our last speaker, John Parker.
I just thank all of you for being here today for this such an important day. It has been a long time coming, and my only job today is to beam with pride that it's done. I've got a nap scheduled for this afternoon. But I want to thank all of you because I look around this area here and it's just a beautiful day and so many faces, partners, people that have been there for us the whole time. I think it's just a big congratulations today. We get to cut that ribbon. I wanted to say just really clearly that the creation of Stonewall Terrace for us means that we have officially expanded our mission to serving a broader array of people who are experiencing medical vulnerabilities. So we're now going to continue to expand our focus so we know that we're meeting the needs, and we know that housing is healthcare. The other thing I was going to want to accomplish today is to acknowledge two people who, without their influence, this project would have never happened. And I wanted Carol Worsham to come join me, please, at the podium. Carol and her husband, Buster, are owners at Winterwood. And we want to thank them from AVOL for their many years of support and for their initiating the process, for them having the dream, along with Fred, and creating Stonewall Terrace. They ensured the financial backing. They provided the necessary expertise that we knew nothing about. Money through your leadership and inspiration, and we now will continue to carry that inspiration forward. Today concludes an extremely incredible journey, yet I suspect that journey is only beginning, and we thank you.
Well, I asked Brian Lloyd, wherever he is, was I going to have to come up to the podium? So I had no notes. I
have nothing to present other than my heartfelt thanks to everyone here. I talked to John earlier, and this, the last 4 years, is not really the beginning. This was a pipe dream that began with my son Fred, who's not here, 15 years ago. And it was just a pipe dream. We really did not know what to do with it. We didn't know how in the world this could ever come to fruition. But over the years, we learned that there's partnerships everywhere. And then we had our wonderful development team, Mike, he's over there, in Zach, and then my son Fred knew John. So we brought those people together, and then this is what you see 15 years later. So I'm grateful, very grateful.
Well, folks, it's time to cut the ribbon. So we are going to assemble in front of the main entrance of AVOL over here. They're going to stretch the ribbon out and give us plenty of room so we all can get in the picture, okay? So let's move that direction. Thank you for being here today, everybody.
There it is.
AVOL staff. AVOL staff, come on up. Anyone who wants to be involved in the picture, come on up.
Where do you want to come?
We'll hold it tight for you.
Are they sharp?
Come on there.
I'm only looking at it. All right. So we're just going to hold it for a second.
Everybody look up and smile. Keep smiling. Keep smiling.
Whenever the media's ready.
Okay. Everybody got what you need?
Yep. We're ready to cut.
1, 2, 3.
Thank you, everyone.